Episode 393.
This match is for real.
Wow, they're really going all out.
Exactly.
In the professional players' seating area, many had already begun whispering and discussing amongst themselves. Everyone from the other teams, except for Tiny Herb, was completely taken aback. Even teammates rarely go all out during the All-Star weekend, let alone players from opposing teams. To put it bluntly, this is just a show the Alliance put on. It's called a rookie challenge, but you rarely see a rookie so clueless that they'd go all out just to make the veterans look bad. Nor would any veteran use their superior skill to completely shut out a rookie in a match like this. The match between Dai Yanqi and Xu Yunshu was a perfect example. Everyone just played their part in the show with mutual respect and got it over with. Social graces and human decency are things you have to observe no matter where you are. Even if a rookie doesn't understand, someone will always be there to remind them. As for the match between Gao Yingje and Wang Jishi, the fact that teammates would fight with such serious intensity, well, to the veterans, it had a bit of a bullying the rookie feel to it. And if you lose, it's even more humiliating. For a rookie, their standing in the league is still shallow. Making a senior lose face in front of everyone could lead to retaliation later, which would obviously be terrible for their career. Gao Yingji's opponent right now is his own team captain. If he really offends him, his standing on the team could be in serious jeopardy. The players continued to murmur, but when they looked at the Tiny Herb members, each one wore a perfectly serious expression. Some players who were familiar with the Tiny Herb members went over to try and dig up the dirt on what was really going on, but they came up empty. The mood over at Tiny Herb was also rather tense. The battle grew more and more intense with each collective gasp from the crowd. They had started their duel in the very center of the map, but now the fight had drifted toward one of its corners. Their health bars were nearly even, but judging by the flow of the fight, the one currently on the back foot was actually Wang Jishi. On the surface, it was Gao Yingje's witch on the offensive, pressing the attack relentlessly, while Wang Jixi's was fighting a measured retreat. Gao Yingyi was known as a genius, but he'd never officially competed in a match. The visiting players had no idea of Gao Yingji's true skill, yet here he was, in a no-holds-barred contest, actually overpowering Wang Jishi in sheer presence. When this so-called genius had first stepped onto the stage, timid and hesitant, many had looked on with scorn. Who could have imagined that once the match began and he got his hands on his character, he'd be this ferocious right out of the gate? Everyone's impression of him was instantly overturned. Blue Rain team snatched a championship right from Tiny Herb's jaws, a title they were dead set on winning. This single move shattered Tiny Herb's grand plan for consecutive victories and total dominance. From then on, the relationship between these two teams became as fiery and hostile as that between Excellent Era and Tyranny. For Blue Rain, Tiny Herb team having such a talented rookie was definitely not good news. The team members were all whispering amongst themselves, discussing this Gao Yingje.
What do you think?
Captain Yu Wenzhou continued to watch the match, asking Huang Shaotian beside him without turning his head.
That kid's APM is insane, probably even faster than Wang Jishi's. That's how he's got the upper hand. Because he's so fast, any openings that do appear are gone in a flash, almost impossible to catch. And I think he's well aware of those brief openings, he just doesn't care to fix them because he's pushing for pure speed.
How does a rookie have such seasoned experience?
It's definitely Wang Jishi's handiwork. The more I look at this kid, the more I'm convinced he was specifically trained to counter me.
Huang Shaotian went on and on.
What about Wang Jixi's side?
Yu Wenzhou would naturally sift through Huang Shaotian's words, separating the nonsense from the meaningful.
My sterling reputation is probably ruined right here. I can't wait to call him up and give him my congratulations. Huh? Where's my phone?
Huang Shaotian started patting down his pockets. The moment he finished speaking, the audience in the arena gasped in unison. The two characters in the arena unleashed a powerful skill clash. Neither gained an advantage, and both were blasted back. Then, immediately, they both raised their brooms and clashed in midair before launching into a wild flurry of strikes. The two characters had been locked in this intense, prolonged exchange of fire, their health bars steadily chipping away. At first, it was impossible to tell who had the edge, but now, with both their life totals running critically low, the difference, accumulated bit by bit, finally became clear. Wang Jixi was behind on health. In this match, the rookie Gao Yingji truly held the upper hand, and in a genuine, no-holds-barred fight, he was poised to defeat his own captain. The atmosphere in the entire arena seemed to grow heavy and oppressive. After all, Gao Yingji was still a rookie. He hadn't made his official debut yet. While he had a reputation as a genius, he was still far from having the popularity to rival Wang Jixi. Emotionally speaking, Wang Jixi had far more supporters in this duel. Those rooting for Gao Yingji were just hoping for an upset, or simply didn't like Wang Jixi. The entire arena grew heavy as everyone could see Wang Jixi was now on the back foot.
That kid's pretty good.
Shen Guo said to Ye Shu and Teng Ru beside her. She had no particular feelings about Wang Jixi or Gao Yingji, nor any desire to see an underdog win. She was just here for the spectacle. Beside her, Teng Ru couldn't help but glance at Ye Shu, only to see his face was grave. He let out a sigh.
Wang Jixi shouldn't have lost.
Over on Blue Rain's side, Yu Wenzhou suddenly spoke up.
That kid has no respect. If any rookie on our team dared to be so insolent, I'd make them scrub the floors for a month. No, 2 months. I think 3 months is better. 3 months sounds about right.
Yu Wenzhou could naturally tune out Huang Shaotian's chatter and simply kept his focus on the match as he spoke.
Wang Jixi didn't max out his skill points.
Huh? Hearing this, Huang Shaotian, surprised for a moment. In actual combat, it's all about execution, and that's where Yu Wenzhou's true strength is held back. But in every other aspect, Yu Wenzhou possessed top-tier, league-leading qualities. Wang Jixi's witch build wasn't fully maxed out, yet Huang Shaotian, famed for his sharp judgment, had completely failed to notice this. His focus was on observing the openings in their duel, mentally calculating the opportunities he could exploit if he were the one in the fight. Huang Shaotian had completely failed to notice this subtle statistical discrepancy.
So his skill damage was just a little bit off. After all that intense back and forth clashing, those tiny differences added up, and it finally showed.
Are you saying he let that kid win on purpose?
It seems so. And he wanted to concede without making it obvious. Is it really necessary to be so meticulous in propping him up? It varies from person to person. For some, a crushing defeat can be the spark that ignites their drive. For others, a single, perfectly timed victory is what they need to build their confidence. We don't know this kid well. Wang Jixi must have his reasons for doing this.
We can't just let him get away with that. Expose him. Quick.
Have a little mercy. Wang Jixi has already sacrificed a great deal for this setup, and the risks are huge. If the opponent sees through it, the effect will be completely counterproductive. The gap in his skill points can't be that wide. I'd say it's probably just a 1-level downgrade on 2 skills. To master it with such precision, that took real dedication. Such painstaking effort.
Huang Shaotian was taken aback by this. For once, he didn't immediately launch into a torrent of words. It was only after a long pause that he finally spoke.
He's really that confident, thinking nobody can see through it?
Has Ye Chu arrived?
How should I know?
Huang Shaotian said, turning his head to look toward Excellent Era. He spotted a pretty girl, stuck 2 fingers in his mouth, and let out a couple of helpless whistles. Everyone from Excellent Era looked over, but that particular girl just tugged at her collar and turned her head in the opposite direction.
Damn it. That damn woman.
Huang Shaoqin was thoroughly annoyed. Yu Wenzhou saw this, and Haiying could only smile helplessly. Seeing the whole group from Excellent Era looking his way, he gave another wave and a friendly nod. The members of Excellent Era waved back, but they were utterly bewildered.